Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I'm so excited to do. I am going to be ranking and reviewing the last 10 foundations, skin tints, CC creams that I've been testing out. A few older products in the bunch here. By older in YouTube time, I mean like a couple of months. Some newer products that I've recently released, but I'm gonna give you my least favorite to my top favorite. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, welcome. So I do start with my outfit of the day. So today I have on this dress here. I think I got it maybe from like Shein last year. It's just like this florally dress, and I just have on my flip-flops from Kohl's. I do link everything that I'm wearing in my description box if there's anything you're curious about, and that includes my makeup as well. But I am filming this on Mother's Day, so I had a brunch this morning, and now I don't really have any other plans for the day, and I was like, well, I look put together. I shouldn't let this go to waste, so I decided to film a video, and this was next on my list. So like I said, I link all of my makeup down below. I do use affiliate links, so I like to say if you use those, thank you so much for your support. I wasn't really planning to film a YouTube video today, so I was just kind of doing whatever, but I did use the Natasha Denona pastel palette. I was trying to do like a makeup look to match my dress, so I just used a couple of the pink shades, like the tulle in here, a little bit of Duet, and then I put some of the purple on my lower lash line, and I did some yellow in the inner corner since yellow was in my dress too. So that was kind of what I was doing. I am testing a few new products on my face, like the e.l.f. Powder Foundation and the NYX A Thick It Stick It. I just picked those up from Ulta Beauty, and that is in a prior Get Ready With Me, where I also give a life update and kind of my 1 year living in Vegas update. So I can link that video in the cards if you want to check it out. And of course, if you're new here, welcome. I hope that you will subscribe. I post about 4 to 5 times a week, including a live chat on Saturdays. And I like to chat about all things beauty. So I love doing ranking videos, and I have been trying out so many, like I said, foundations, skin tints, CC creams. So I thought, let's put it all together, and I will give you what I think is really worth it and what I don't think is so worth it. What's interesting to me is, as I was making my list, I have 10 in here. As I was making my list, I was like, the majority of these, I'm just kind of like, meh. Like, I'm not really wearing a lot of the new complexion products. I'm reaching into my drawer for my old staples. So if you would want to see a video on my top foundation, skin tint, CC creams, that sort of thing, just foundations in general, definitely let me know. Because yeah, again, I have my last 10 products here that I've been trying, but like some of my top ones I do think are pretty good, but for the majority, I'm just kind of like, all right, I've seen better. I do have pretty dry skin. I'm also 35. I do have sensitive skin, and I'm a little bit more acne prone, especially hormonal acne. So it's a little bit about my skin type. And for me, I do prefer like a light to medium coverage. I like skin tints. I like CC creams. I don't like anything that's really full coverage. And I also prefer more of a natural finish, or leaning towards like the radiant or dewy side. So I'm not a matte girl as well. So jumping into it, at number 10, I have from IT Cosmetics, this is the CC Nude Glow. I feel like a lot of these products I've been seeing really good feedback on. Some of these I've purchased because I've heard good reviews on. The IT Cosmetics was gifted to me in PR. And I feel like I see so many people like this, and I'm like, okie dokie. It's just not for me. This is $42. It says it's a color correcting medium coverage skin tint formulated with a brightening glow serum and SPF 40 that delivers an immediate, visible, healthy glow. It's supposed to give you medium coverage and be a radiant finish. To me, that sounded right up my alley. Now, years ago, I tried the IT Cosmetics Original CC Cream, and I didn't really love it. But I was like, you know, that was a while ago. When I got a couple shades sent to me, I was like, all right, I'll give this a shot. This is neutral medium. This is one of those that, again, I have dry skin. Maybe if you have oily skin, you might like this one more. But it looked so drying on me. It emphasized any dry patches. It made me look older. This was a foundation that I wore, and I was trying to test it out when Angelica Nifis came to visit me, and even she was like, what's that foundation? I was like, I know it's not good. Like, one of those that even when I first put it on, I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes there's foundations where you put it on and it's like, oh, that looks pretty good. And then after a few hours, you're like, that didn't wear nicely. It's fading away. It's settling into lines. This was pretty much right off the bat that I was like, this is not going to go well for me. It feels drier, like even like blending it out, it just doesn't feel like it's going on really smoothly onto my skin. So I've tried it with different primers. I've tried it with different powders on top. I cannot make this one work for me, and I'm super bummed because I hear some really nice reviews and I feel like it looks good on other people, but definitely not on me. At number 9, I have from Danessa Myricks, and this is the Yummy Skin Serum Foundation. I'm super bummed about this. I picked this one up from Sephora. I will say I bought it when it was fairly new, so I hadn't heard a ton of reviews yet. And then by the time I got my order in, I've been hearing either really stellar glowing reviews or absolutely terrible reviews. And I was like, okay, which way am I gonna go? Well, it's coming in at number 9, so you probably know which way we're going here. This one retails for $34. It's a skincare hybrid foundation with medium buildable coverage that effortlessly creates a natural looking skin-like glow. So medium coverage, radiant finish. Once again, I was like, this sounds great for me. I got this shade 7N, which is probably about 2 shades too light for me, I would say. I liked the packaging on it. This plastic a squeeze tube kind of has this more interesting tip to it on the top. I was like, all right, let's give it a shot. This is one that you do need a small amount of product, and it's really going to spread all over your face. You don't need a lot with this one. Once again, I don't feel like it offers any benefits to my skin, and even when I use the first time that I used it was I was doing a first impression on TikTok. If I have any demos, I will link all of those in my description box if you want to see me actually applying these products. I will link all of those underneath the product link for each of the different ones. So in that TikTok, I mean, you can see like a tiny little dot is what I put on, and even then it almost just feels heavier. It almost looks a little bit more mask-like. Like, to me, when I wear this, you can tell that I am wearing foundation, and I just like something that's a little bit more on the natural side, which is what I really thought this one was going to be. Once again, I just feel like it ages me. With my dry skin, that can be some of my biggest battles, as if a foundation is just not jiving well with my skin, I feel like I look older, and that is not what I prefer. This one was just so hard to get the handle of. I will say, when I use the Dior Powder No Powder, which is like my magic powder, it looks pretty nice with the Danessa Myricks. The primer that I like the most with this one would be the Tatcha Liquid Silk. I didn't even feel like the Dior powder helped the It Cosmetics, which is why it came in at number 10. But both of these, I don't feel like they do anything nice for my skin. There's gonna be some more foundations coming up that I'm just kind of like meh about, but these two are like, these are not it for me. Coming in at number 8, again, I bought this one because I was hearing good reviews, and I'm like, okay. This is from Makeup Forever, and this is their HD Skin. So also with Makeup Forever, they had was it the Ultra HD foundation a few years ago that people really seemed to enjoy. I remember buying it, trying it, and I was like, okay. But once again, that was years ago, so I was like, let me just go ahead and give this a shot. So this retails for $43. It's an undetectable liquid foundation, blurs and covers imperfections for up to 24 hours, powered by a micro skin system that syncs with the skin for a true skin finish. Do not play a drinking game on how many times I just said skin. This one does say it's good for normal, oily, and combo skin, so I'm going to point that out. Medium coverage with a natural finish. So right away, normal, oily, combo. I have dry skin, so I just want to point that out, but sometimes you never know how a product's going to work for you. And if you do have dry skin and you come to me for complexion reviews, I can let you know, like, hey, this also might work well for us. But with this one, I think it really is going to stay true to, especially if you're more oily, I think that you're going to like this one a little bit more. Once again, it feels quite heavy on my skin. I think that was my biggest complaint about this one, is that it just feels like I'm wearing a lot of makeup. And again, it can get kind of mask-like. It says that it's medium coverage. I think this one is more of like a medium buildable to a medium full type of coverage. And sometimes I feel like it kind of cakes up a little bit, like especially by my brows, like around my nose, those sort of areas. I feel like it looks especially heavy there. And once again, it just makes it very obvious that I'm wearing foundation, which I don't necessarily love. This was one of those that I would try it and not like it, and then I would try it and be like, oh, that's not too bad, and then I would try it and not like it, and then try it and like it, and I was like, I just like can't get a good handle on this one. And again, the first two, the It Cosmetics and the Danessa, those are the ones that I just have such a hard time making work for me. Forever is pretty much right there. This one is kind of the one that's like bordering between like, I absolutely can't make this work to like, they work, they're just meh for me. Like this is like where we're starting to cross over into there. So this one is the glass bottle. It has a pump on it, so nice packaging. You have dry skin and you are thinking, you've seen some reviews, you're like, I don't know, maybe I would say probably stay away from that one. I think there's gonna be others that work better for you. At number 7, I have from Kosas, and this is their Revealer Skin Improving Foundation. This one retails for $42. This is a clean, skin improving, medium coverage SPF 25 foundation and treatment with hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, peptides, squalene, vitamin B5, arnica, and caffeine. It's supposed to be medium coverage with a natural finish. You're gonna be hearing that quite a bit because again, that is my favorite. This was actually gifted to me from Kosas. I was able to request it from the brand through one of like our third-party sites where you can request PR instead of just getting like everything sent to you. A lot of people had started asking me for a review of this, so when it popped up on my like homepage to request products, I was like, I'm gonna give that one a shot because I was thinking about just buying this one myself. Again, glass bottle. This one has a pump on it. Now this shade, I don't think I said my shade in the Makeup Forever. It's 2N22. This was a pretty decent shade match on me. In the Kosas, I have light, medium, neutral 200. And I think that it pulls pretty yellow. And the Kosas Revealer Concealer does that as well. And it's supposed to, the shade that I have is supposed to be a neutral finish. And again, this one has neutral and I just don't see it. It just pulls a little bit warm on me, which makes it a little bit harder to wear. This is one of those that it's like, it's fine. Like, it's not terrible. It doesn't make my skin look too dry. It doesn't make my skin look like my skin but better. It just kind of is like, there it is. Like, that's what I have to say about the Kosas. And to me, I've seen some reviews just absolutely like, people love it. They love how it makes their skin look. And to me, when I compare it to some of my favorites, like the Dior Backstage Face and Body, the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator, I wear that one so much. The Pat McGrath Sublime, like foundations that I've been wearing for years and I continue to love and I continue to go back to. Like, this just does not stand up to those. While it's not terrible, like the Cosmetics and the Danessa, that I'm like, I just can't make this work for me. I just don't find myself reaching for it very often. A, because the shade match is wrong, but also B, it's just like, it's just okay. It's just okay to me. Next up, I have a newer product to me. I have tried this one only 3 times, which is typically the minimum that I'd like to try before I say that I'm reviewing a product. Otherwise, you know, versus saying like it's still kind of a first impression type of thing. But I was able to wear this one 3 times, so I wanted to include it. So this is from Saie Beauty, and this is their Slip Tint. So it's their broad spectrum SPF 35 sunscreen tinted moisturizer. This one retails for $35. It says a tinted moisturizer that offers skin loving hydration, sheer dewy coverage, and confusion free shades, and 100% mineral UV protection. There are 14 shades, which is fairly decent for a tinted moisturizer. Sometimes we only see like 3, maybe 4, like 5 could be pushing it for a tinted moisturizer. I have the shade 3, which I think works out pretty well for me. So you do have the pump on it once again. I've tried this out a couple of different ways. I do have a first impression demo on my Instagram with this from Saie Beauty, also their liquid blush, which I am wearing today, and their mascara, which I used in my last Get Ready With Me. This is one, I've tried it with a brush, a sponge, and also my hands. I like applying this one with my hands the most. Everything else that I've mentioned, I typically prefer a sponge. That's just usually how I like to do it, because this one is so lightweight and it's a little bit more on the liquidy side, and it's so light coverage. I find it fine to be able to use my hands. I actually prefer it that way, because it is almost kind of like a sunscreen. It just has a little bit of a tint to it. This one didn't absolutely blow me away, and I think when it comes to more of like a tinted SPF, I'm finding that those aren't totally my favorite as a makeup product. Versus like my tinted SPF from Bliss, that's what I use as a sunscreen, and I really like it in that sense, versus having it be a makeup product. Hopefully that makes sense. But sometimes I still feel like even after I put this on, I still need something a little bit more. Like, it's just almost too light coverage for me. I need a little bit more evening out. Again, I have, you know, acne scars and that sort of thing. So sometimes something that's so light coverage, I still feel like I need a little bit more. And sometimes what I've noticed with tinted SPFs is I feel like it can almost give me like, I want to say like a tin looking vibe to my skin. Like, it's almost a little bit metallic-y. I feel like it makes my skin look worse, which again is kind of why I was trying to put it in the middle here, because I don't think it makes my skin look worse by any means. It does give you more of a nice glow. I just wish it had a little bit more something to it. or I can see myself in the summer, like if I'm really just like not having a makeup day, this could be a fine product to put on. Not a bad product, again, it's just kind of one of those that I'm like, I'm just feeling so about so many of these. And number 5, I have what I am wearing today, and that is from Rare Beauty, and this is their Tinted Moisturizer. This one was gifted to me. The Saie Beauty was as well, if I did not say that. And from Rare Beauty, I have been trying out a shade 32N. So this retails for $29. It's a flexible tinted moisturizer that immediately blurs skin with glowy, light to medium coverage, all while hydrating and protecting skin from the sun. It's supposed to be light coverage and give you that radiant finish. This was one, once again, shade match is not great. I don't know what's going on there, and this one definitely pulls very warm as well. I was actually swatching these with Angie when we were in store at Sephora, and we were like, wait, why are all these shades so yellow? So once again, a plastic bottle with the squeeze tube here. So I don't mind the packaging, easy to throw in like a beach bag, that sort of thing. This was one, I just used this in my last Get Ready With Me, that 1 year Vegas update, because I knew that I was wanting to film this video, and I was like, I feel like I have good notes on everything, but the Rare Beauty I've had for a little bit longer, I was like, I feel like I need to bring that one back. I need to test it out again and see more what I'm thinking about it. Like I said, it is what I'm wearing today along with the new e.l.f. Powder foundation, and I like this one more than when I was first testing it out. Again, I prefer to use a damp sponge to blend this one out. I think that makes it look nice. I wish the shade matching would be just a little bit better, but I think mixing it with the right concealer and the right powder, it can kind of even everything out. But I like it because it's very lightweight. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing a lot of makeup. I don't think it has the longest wear time out of some of my foundations and tinted moisturizers that I've tried, but I feel like it's pretty decent, and it does give me more of a natural glow. Again, I have dry skin, so if you're oily, that could be like completely opposite, but because I'm so dry, I feel like when I wear this one, I can notice a glow to my skin, but it's very much on the natural side. And I like that. I like that finish to it, and I feel like it's not too much, it's not overdone. I feel like it's really nice, especially for the warm weather days when I don't want something too heavy on my skin, but I still want something that's gonna even everything out. You know, give me a little bit of coverage and give me a little bit of a glow. Now we're getting back into some releases that released a handful of months ago. Those are some of my new products. Again, the Saie Beauty is very new to me. But the next one that I have is from Dior, and this is the Forever Skin Glow. This one retails for $52. I purchased this one myself in the shade 2.5N. It says it has a 24-hour wear, radiant, medium to full coverage and hydration with 86% skincare ingredients to visibly improve skin over time. So medium coverage with a radiant finish. I did purchase this one myself, and I was actually getting some questions to compare it to the old Dior Forever Skin Glow, which I've had for a couple years, and then they just reformulated this one, and so I had a couple people ask, and so I did do, when I reviewed this one a couple months ago after it first released, I talked about how I thought it was to the original Forever Skin Glow. Now, if you have this one, do I feel like you need to spend $52 to go buy the new one? No, definitely not, like especially if you still have a lot of product in your old one, because I feel like they are pretty similar. Again, they're both going to be that medium to build full coverage. They're going to give you more of a radiant finish. Like, I don't feel like you absolutely have to have it. The biggest difference that I would say between the two is I feel like the newer one is a little bit more lightweight. I feel like it's a little bit more on the liquidy side, which makes it a little bit more lightweight, which is what I prefer. Now, that also could be because I've had this foundation in my drawer for a while, so maybe it just kind of like dried out over time. Again, glass bottle, pump on here. I like this one a lot. Out of the new foundations that I was trying at that time a couple months ago, this one didn't quite reach some of my other favorites, which if you've been here for a minute, you might know what I'm getting to. It didn't quite reach that level, but I still really do enjoy it. Now, this one is going to give you a little bit more coverage, and I think that's the biggest thing for me. Since I'm not a huge coverage girl, this one is going to be definitely medium to that medium buildable. So sometimes if I do like a pump too much or something like that, I'm like, oh, I went a little bit overboard. I feel like I can kind of notice that with the finish, and it just personally is not what it is for me. If you are looking for something that has more coverage out of this video, you might like the Dior one the most. I enjoy it because when I feel like I use the right amount of product and get that medium coverage, I feel like it has a very second skin-like feel to it and look to it, but it also gives me that natural radiance where it's not too much. I never look too oily or greasy or shiny. It's just that natural glowy finish, and this has a very nice staying power. I really do like the Dior complexion products. I have tried the Flash one. I get so many comments and questions on if I've tried the Dior Air Flash. I have tried that one years ago. That was when I was still way even more unsure of myself than I was about makeup, and I just didn't really get it. I kind of want to try it again just to see if I could have a better handle to it, but I was like, am I supposed to spray this on my face, my hand, my sponge, my brush? Like, I was a little bit confused back then. I wasn't really quite sure what I was doing. But I remember that I liked it. And then the Dior Backstage is still one of my tippy top favorites. Their complexion products I do think are really nice, and they have a really good wear time and staying power to them, and they're very beautiful as a second skin kind of natural looking vibe to it. So I'm still very impressed with the Dior Forever Skin Glow. If I'm going somewhere where I feel like I want that little bit more coverage, or I want that extra boost of wear time, that's typically what I'm gonna be reaching for. Coming in at number 3, I have from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Beautiful Skin Foundation. All right, this one retails for $44. It's a 16-hour natural glow foundation with a buildable medium coverage to hydrate, smooth, blur pores, and brighten skin. So medium coverage, natural finish. This one is your plastic here with the squeeze tube. Once again, very easy to throw in the beach bag, travel bag, that sort of thing. I was really excited when Charlotte released this. I did purchase this one myself in the shade 6N, 2.5N in the Dior. I think I mentioned that, but one of my best shade matches. Just like hands down, one of my best shade matches in my foundation collection. Me, with having especially dry skin, this one gives me that really beautiful glow that I love so much. I do think if you're oily, I don't know if this one would work the best for you. And again, if you're really watching this because you want to purchase a new foundation and you're like making a list and everything, I would say check out the oily girls and see what they are saying about this one, because this definitely gives me a really nice radiance when I wear it. This one, I don't think it has the longest wear time, and I kind of went back and forth between Dior and Charlotte, and I was trying to decide which one, but I decided to go with the Charlotte, especially right now, to rank it just over the Dior, because it has a little bit more of that lighter coverage to it, which I like. More of that like straight medium versus being more buildable, and it feels a little bit more lightweight on the skin. It's a little bit more liquidy than the Dior is, and I feel like that makes it a little bit more lightweight on my skin, and it just gives me that really beautiful glow. This is one though, like, so there are times when I wear it that I do feel like I might need to powder, especially like my T-zone area, so that's something to keep in mind. So again, that's why I say if you're oily, that might not be the best one for you, but I ended up really liking the Charlotte Beautiful Skin, so that was a happy purchase for me. So at number 2, I have a little bit of a wild card in here, and this is actually a color corrector, but I wear this as not only a concealer, a color corrector, but as a more light coverage foundation. And I was thinking about it. I was like, well, I could put it in this video, or I guess I could review new concealers, and I was like, why would I just not talk about it? Like I just need to talk about it and let you know how much I enjoy it. So this is actually from Sigma Beauty, and this is their color corrector duo. So I use the shade light to medium. So there are a few different shade options that they have on the website, and this retails for $30. So it says, quickly neutralize discoloration and brighten up your skin with 2 blendable creams you can mix together to customize your shade and seamlessly layer under concealer. So this one I mentioned in my staples for spring and summer, because I was kind of focusing on some products that are dual purpose. Like I mentioned the Hindash Mono Commands palette you can use for eyeshadows, contour, bronzer, blush, that sort of thing. But I did also mention this one from Sigma, and I think this product really blew me away, and I was not expecting it to. And I love Sigma Beauty for their eyeshadow palettes. I like them for their lip products, obviously their brushes. So when they came out with this, I was kind of like, I mean, I don't know, like I'll try it, obviously. I'm an affiliate with Sigma. My code is Samantha if you're purchasing anything such as the Color Corrector Duo. So, you know, obviously I was like, I'll give it a shot, and I was like, wait. Wait a second. I love this. So this is how I use it. I take a little bit of the darker side, and that's what I use on my acne spots, you know, any areas where I'm dealing with redness, or I'll just kind of put a little bit on different areas to kind of act as foundation. I take the lighter side, and that's what I'll put on my under eyes to brighten it up, and then anywhere, you know, the center of the forehead, down the middle of the nose, anywhere else that I'm brightening up. And that is what I use. And then I'll blend it out and I'll set my face with the Dior Powder No Powder. I've used it with the Charlotte Tilbury and the Kosas Cloud Set, but the Dior and the Charlotte are my favorite. And this is fantastic for something that it's a wonderful color corrector. It brightens up my skin as well, but the formula gives you that lightweight, light coverage type of foundation CC cream that I'm looking for, but you get it in this. It's so fascinating to me, and I just can't express how much I didn't think I was going to love it as much as I did. What was so funny to me is I was able to go to Minneapolis with Sigma Beauty for the launch of the new mod collection, and we were sitting there with some of the team and just kind of talking about Sigma and the products, and I was like, y'all, this color corrector is phenomenal. And Kelly Gooch was like, this color corrector is everything. And we were both like, right. Like we had that moment, and it was just so cool to see the Sigma team get so excited. And the owner, the creator, the founder of Sigma, Simone, was there, and she was so excited of how much we loved it. And I was like, no, I can't stop wearing this, especially on those no makeup days, and you just want something, but it's gonna work. It's gonna hide the imperfections that you want to cover. It's gonna brighten. This is a top product for me. I went back and forth between putting this at number 2 and number 1. I decided to go with number 1 with a foundation that I still like to reach into, and that's more of your traditional foundation, but truly, like, this could have taken the number 1 spot as well. I think it's phenomenal. So at number 1, I have from Nars, and this is their light reflecting foundation. So this one retails for $49. It says it's an advanced makeup skincare hybrid foundation with a natural finish that quickly blurs and smooths while visibly improving skin's clarity over time. So medium coverage, natural finish. So around the time that these were releasing, I did a beauty battle between the Nars and the Charlotte Tilbury because I loved these foundations so much, and I do find them pretty similar to one another as well. This one did win out over the Charlotte Tilbury, but once again, kind of just depending on what you're looking for. If you're someone that's more into a no makeup, like less is more, I would recommend the Sigma for you. If you're someone who likes maybe just a touch more coverage, or you're just someone that likes a liquid foundation more and it's easier for you to use, I would suggest the one from Nars. But this is one of those where, just like with the Charlotte, it's very a second skin. When I put it on, it really is like my skin but better. It's very lightweight. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing a lot of makeup, but it gives a really nice glow, versus the one from Charlotte that I think gives you such a glow and it's quite radiant. This one to me is more on that natural side, kind of like the Dior, but unlike the Dior has that more medium to buildable, this one really is like the light medium in there. So that's why the Nars went to number 1, and that's why some of these that are on the top, they have some of my favorite elements in each. I just feel like Nars kind of has all of those that I'm like, yes to the finish, yes to the coverage, yes to the feel, and that sort of thing. So glass bottle, it does have a pump on it as well, and I've really been enjoying this one. I do have one funny story actually I forgot to tell about the Sigma color corrector. One of my girlfriends the other day called me. We were going to the John Legend show, and she was like, I have a bruise on my under eye from Botox. She got like nicked or something, I don't know. She was like, can you help me? And I was like, I know exactly what to do. The medium one, and I used the color corrector on her, and she was like, I was like, yes, I know. So got her hooked on the Sigma one as well because it's just fabulous. But again, if you're looking for something that's a little bit more of like your liquid foundation and you have dry skin, I mean, I think that this one's gonna work great for you. I have the shade Santa Fe for the Nars, and I think that it's a really nice shade match. I think this one is gonna be a little bit more friendly if you have combo or oily skin versus the Charlotte being so radiant. This one is gonna be a little bit more on the natural side, but I was a little bit surprised because I feel like I've been trying so many of these new foundations recently, and there's just not a lot of standouts besides the Sigma Beauty. My other top 3 are ones that did release a couple of months ago, but I love testing out complexion products. Trying the foundations and the CC creams are some of my favorites. And again, if you would want to see a video on some of my top like holy grail complexion products that I just keep reaching to after all these years, if you would find that helpful in a wrap-up video or ranking all of my foundations, whatever it is that you would want to see, just please definitely let me know in the comments and I would be happy to create that. But I hope that you found this helpful. If you did, of course, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. I hope you also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll see you in my next video.